Hello again, modelers. Well, we're out in the paint shop with our Enterprise C model, and we've gone ahead and finished off the interior with our flat black for our light blocking. And we've got our parts sanded down here on the outside. These are the two halves of the secondary hull. You can see here in this, got all of our windows done. And we're getting ready to do the outside surfaces now, and so what I'm going to be doing here first is applying my plastic coat, my plas-stick. So this is a little product here that allows good paint adhesion. I'm going to lay this coat down on here first before I lay my primer down. I'm just going to put a nice light coat on these parts. Okay, and that'll make a nice bond, so when we start doing all of our tape work on this plastic, we're gonna have no issues of paint coming off when we're doing our paint work. This is a critical step. This stuff dries really fast. I'm helping it out with a little bit of heat here, just real low heat setting on my heat gun, and it'll be ready to handle here in just a second. And then I can start getting my primer ready here and go on to the next step. Okay, this is already dry. Okay, let me get my primer ready. We'll come back here in a second and prime these parts. Okay, we're back here and we've got our primer ready to go. The parts are ready to go. This is all dried up. I wanted to show you, this is this plastic product that I put on here. As you can see, it dries nice and smooth. It doesn't leave any kind of texture on it or anything, so no sanding required or anything like that. And once we lay down our primer on this, this will be a really solid foundation. So this is just standard high build gray primer that I'm using. It's very sandable, and it actually helps fix some of the flaws in your surface. When you sand it out, you get rid of little imperfections and things like that. And we just apply a real nice light coat of this stuff to start with. And again, my little trick here, I like to use forced heat to dry this stuff. Yep, this turned out really good already here. I'm going to let this settle for just a second. Okay, well, we've got these parts all primed up and ready to go here. We've got quite a bit of work done now on this secondary hull already. All of our lights, all of our window ports are drilled out. We've got it all sanded out smooth. I'll just be going back and sanding over these parts with some 600 grit paper and smoothing out my primer, and I'll have my good base to work with. Then I'll be back and I'll be putting my white base coat down. That's the overall color I'm going to start with. And I'll also lay that down on the inside here to get some good light reflection going on for my LEDs. And things are looking pretty good. So this is going to be quite interesting. I don't know how well you can see it, but there are these grid lines here on this ship that all have to be taped off and painted these different colors. And that's going to be quite fun to do, so looking forward to that. Going to be tedious, have to do one color at a time. And I'm taking these extra lengths here to prep these parts and making sure my paint foundation is really strong, so that when I start pulling my tape off, I'm not going to be pulling paint off with it. A very, very important step, especially on a model like this where there's a lot of different color variations going on. So that's it for this segment. In the next one, when we come back, we'll be starting to do some of our lighting work and some of our wiring. I'll be getting this secondary hull together, pretty much focusing on it as we go on this first step. So hope we see you for the next video, and until then, happy modeling.